Can you see my screen, Parth?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, the agenda for today will be we will do a short recap on what the concepts we learned in the last workshop, because last workshop made a shift from you being a participant to you being a facilitator. So just to reiterate that shift, we will do a short recap on adult learning theory and some of the stuff we did in the last workshop. And the main concept today, what we will be dealing with is the Bloom's taxonomy. I know this, we might have gone through this Bloom's taxonomy a couple of times before, but, in order for all of us to have a very common understanding of Bloom's taxonomy, we will do this session and we will do a lot of hands-on, practice of identifying the cognitive skill and how to use Bloom's taxonomy, like to be absolutely sure that you understand what Bloom's taxonomy is. Because when you go and train teachers, all of you should be conveying the same idea about Bloom's taxonomy. So, like if Garima ma'am is teaching, is going to train one bunch of teachers on Bloom's taxonomy, and say like Joshi sir is going to train another bunch of teachers, both the bunch of teachers should have the same common understanding of Bloom's taxonomy. So we will go through the Bloom's taxonomy in very great detail today, and we will also review questions on based on Bloom's taxonomy. So that will be the agenda for today. The objective, like last time, is to for you to develop skills to create, manage, and facilitate a learner-centered environment, so that you can share your knowledge of assessment development statewide with teachers. So that will be the key objective. And what will be the outcomes for the workshop? Like for you to be able to facilitate a session on Bloom's taxonomy principles, and how will you facilitate a session on reviewing the cognitive skill of a question. So the entire thrust of today's workshop is going to be Bloom's taxonomy. To the extent that anybody wakes you up in the middle of the night and asks you to, tell them about Bloom's taxonomy, you should be like absolutely confident about doing that. So, that is the aim of confidence we need to reach. So with that in mind, we'll begin the session. Okay, I had requested to send in any doubts or clarifications that you might have for me, but I did not receive anything. Uh, but if you think that you still have, but you did not get time to send it to me, please note it down and I can answer them at the end of the workshop if we have time, or tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have time, so we can take care of that. This thing. Any questions so far on today's agenda outcomes or objective? Anybody needs any clarifications?
Excuse me, ma'am, this is Garima.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, not any clarification, but I just want to know whether we'll be getting the slides also, or the matter on this Bloom's taxonomy.
Yeah, I think after every workshop, I think Bharti is sending the slides, no? The workshop slides.
Fine, ma'am.
Yeah,
Because it will help us to prepare the material for our sessions.
Sure, sure.
Garba madam, the slides will be shared with you, and I hope that you have got the pre-read also.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So, like, though we will be sharing the slides, it would be nice that, like, if you gain a level of mastery, you should be able to make your slides, because I think part of the next workshop is going to be something where they will be presenting all, preparing and presenting the slides, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So,
I'll ensure that everybody is going to be facilitator.
thank you, Parth.
Right.
So yeah, so we will anyway share the slides for you to have it as reference. But it will be nice if you can come up with something original and engaging. Yeah. So if nobody has any questions, I'll go further. So recap of what we learned uh, in the last session. Just go through the key points of from that session. The one main thing we learned about was teaching versus facilitation. Because all of you have been teachers and some of you have had facilitated. We will just go through it very quickly. I'm sure you know the difference. Uh, One is teaching is teacher centered and facilitation is learner centered. So when you're teaching a bunch of kids, it's more like you know everything and you are the wise person there. So you take a sage on the stage approach. And when you're facilitating, it's more of being on the side and guiding the learners. Teaching is very content driven, and whereas facilitation is very participation driven. It's more like a content is more like a top down approach, like the person who's standing and then delivering the material, whereas facilitation is ensuring that all the participants are engaged in the session and have something to contribute when they are taking away something from the session. Okay. uh, in teaching, you become a subject matter expert, and when you're facilitating, you are concentrating more on the mode of delivery. So you're more of a delivery expert there. So teaching involves reading, listening, remembering, all those very cognitive, scholastic skills you remember, you need. And when you're facilitating, it involves a lot of doing and reflecting. So these are points that you already know. I'm just listing it down so that like a refresher list, we will just go through it and be done with it. So teaching is more about concepts and theories, whereas facilitation prioritizes uh, experiences and connections. So when you are facilitating sessions on conducting, question making workshops, you need to keep the second column principles in view. Uh, so the idea is that even if they end up taking away only 30% of what you like are sharing, uh, that 30% is well done, and they kind of are able to do and reflect on it and make connections with it, so that they can implement it in their other things. See, any concept related or theory related thing, they can still learn on their own because we are talking about adults. But it's more about the experience you need to share with them. And then the second important point we touched upon was like the difference between andragogy and pedagogy. So the main difference is that the level of autonomy and maturity that increases from andragogy in the to the so sorry from the pedagogy to the andragogy scale. So when this level of maturity and autonomy increases, the instructor will have lesser control over the course structuring. So when you're facilitating and when you're dealing with an andragogy setup, the instructor control is less, and you give them more autonomy when you are facilitating a session. So anyway, the key principles of andragogy and pedagogy. This is again based. Most of the things overlap with the teaching and facilitation approach. So if we have time, I actually wanted you all to present, the recap. But Parth and the team felt that we, deal with the presentation of you presenting in the next workshop. So the next workshop will be like fully from your side. Parth and I will be on the side watching what you're doing. Yeah. So these are just the main points that we went through in detail last time. So I'll not go through it again. I will save more time for Bloom's taxonomy. Again, the andragogy pedagogy principles, and also we went through the different learning styles and the different teaching styles. And if the learning style and the teaching style do not match, then there is a severe effect on the learning process. So it's important that you modulate and calibrate your teaching style or facilitation style according to the participants in your workshop. It's very important to gauge what kind of learner styles the participants have in your in the group you have, and accordingly adapt to that situation. So that is one of the key skills you will need to develop as a facilitator. So they are not like your classroom, typical traditional classroom of kids who will just sit there and passively listen to you. So in a facilitation setup, because there will be a lot more engagement, you need to adapt to different learner styles. Okay, so these are the basic things we went through last time. So now we will all deep dive into Bloom's taxonomy. I want a quick pulse check of. Uh, I want a quick pulse check of how many of you are. Wait, let me stop sharing. How many of you are absolutely thorough, like on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is very less confident to 10 being like super confident? I want you all to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about your knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy? Can you just type it on the chat box? Just give me a number. Did all of you understand my question? You can unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Rajshri ma'am says 4 to 5. Amit Gupta sir says 4 to 5. Others? Kindly respond with a number as to how confident you are about Bloom's taxonomy. I'll give a minute for this and then I will. Pankaj sir says 5.
Ma'am, I am not able to send what I typed there in the chat box. I don't know why this happened last time also. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm not able to send whatever I typed in my chat box. It's not going up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it happened.
Last time also it happened, I remember.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Same thing happened last time also.
Are you
आप
having
अपना
your mobile, ma'am?
नंबर बता दीजिए आप.
Ma'am, 3, I think.
3. Okay.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, sir.
Actually, the chat box is also not shown. The same problem with me. And out of 5, 3 only. My number is 3.
Can you see a bubble, speech bubble icon on the toolbar where you can see the camera, microphone?
Actually, last time also it happened.
Oh,
I
okay.
had to leave the training, then again I log in, then I think that was possible.
Do you want to try
Yes,
and do
it will
it
be
again?
resolved, sir. No, no,
Ma'am,
Yes,
it was
can you
tried
also
last time.
try that? Can you just leave and join again?
I think that ma'am, you should also do the same.
Yeah,
First,
yeah, that ma'am, try that.
now it is being shown, madam.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, great.
You can type in your answer, sir. Like,
Okay, ma'am.
Garima ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear, I can speak also. Only thing is that my typed material is not going in chat box. That is the only problem.
yeah,
Otherwise, I
yeah.
can hear you very well. I can see and I can even see your presentations
Yeah, no,
properly.
ma'am, Joshi sir also had the same issue. So what he was suggesting is you just log out and log in again. Leave the meeting and join again. So it works for him. So if you can do that.
Fine. Okay, ma'am. I'll
Joshi sir, can you type in your number? Your confidence level number?
Actually, now I can type, but the message can't be sent because the that icon is not highlighted actually.
Oh, okay. It's
Sending.
okay. Fine, fine.
This
I've
is
noted it down anyway. So it's okay.
okay, ma'am.
Mukesh
Okay, thank
sir said 4. Pankaj sir said 5. Amit sir, Rajshri ma'am. So all of them have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I don't see anybody going above 5 in the confidence level. Mm, so, Garima ma'am, have you joined back?
Yeah, she has joined.
Okay, okay.
So,
So,
these are
yes, ma'am. I have joined.
so these numbers are out of 5 or out of 10.
out of 10,
Okay.
all of you have given a number out of 10 only, right? Not out of 5, right? Anybody gave it out of 5?
I think Joshi sir has
Then
given out
I
of
will
5.
give, actually, I have out of 5 I have given, so I would give 6.
Okay, 6. So so Pankaj sir, is it 5 out of 10 or 5 out of 5? Pankaj sir,
It's 5 out of 5.
it's 5 out of 5? Okay. And Mukesh sir, is it 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 10?
4 on 10.
Rajshri ma'am? Rajshri ma'am? Rajshri ma'am, are you there? She's given 4 to 5. I don't know whether it is out of.
Actually, she is speaking, but she is not audible. Rashi madam
Okay,
is speaking, but she is not audible
Oh,
due to some technical glitch.
okay.
oh,
I am sitting by her, so I can tell you that he has given out of 10.
Okay, fine. I will just type it out.
He has given out of 10.
So Joshi sir 6 out of 10, Pankaj sir 5 out of 5, Mukesh sir 4 out of 10, Rajshri ma'am 4 to 5 out of 10. Garima ma'am was
Ma'am, it's 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. And Amit sir was 4. Amit sir, is it 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 10?
4 out of 10.
Okay. So Pankaj sir is 10 out of 10, basically. So Joshi sir, Pankaj sir, Mukesh sir, Rajshri ma'am, Garima ma'am. Okay, I've got all the. Please check the chat box if the numbers are correct. Yeah. So all those who have mentioned below 5, at the end of this workshop, I want all of you to be able to say that you've understood it 8 out of 10, and you will be able to at least 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would be ideal, but 8 of 10, 8 out of 10, if you can gauge yourself that you've understood it, then we have achieved the purpose of this workshop. So I'll try my best to explain the concepts very well. If we, myself might not be like 100% super confident. In those places, I will get back to you with some research-based findings. But whatever we will do in depth today. Okay. So I'll share my screen again. Okay. So so how do we go logically about linking assessments to Bloom's taxonomy? Okay, so the first step is to think about assessment and what are the two modes in which assessments can be administered. Let's say like the two modes are either the child takes it does the assessment on a paper pen mode, or the child takes it on a computer or digital mode. Okay, so whichever mode the child takes the assessment on, there can be only two types of assessment, in which one is a select type of response where the child is given a set of responses for a question and the child kind of manipulates those responses. Either the child has to select one correct answer from the response or multiple correct answers from the response, or if it is a computer based, there are a lot of things the child can do: drag and drop, match the following, all those things. So whatever it is, according to the question format, there can be only two types of this thing, questions. One in which the student selects a response, and one in which the student supplies the response. So in the select format, what are the different types of questions we can use? Can somebody tell me, like, if it is a select type of questions, what are the different types of questions we can use in a paper? Anybody?
Ma'am, it can be MCQs.
Yes.
Having 4 options or 3 options or 2 options.
Yeah, MCQs, and then?
And fill in the blanks. Where options are
Fill in the blank, they have to supply the answer, no ma'am?
if options are given,
They can be close-ended question.
Close-ended question, that will be a multiple choice question. So think from the point of view of the child, whether the child is producing an answer or receiving an answer and doing something with that answer. Responses.
Hello.
True,
Yes,
false
Madam.
type
yes, true,
questions.
false.
True,
Very good.
false.
True, false, yes, no
Very good.
type, matching the column also.
Yes, very good.
Yes, no type.
Yes. yes, no. Yeah, these are the four major things: multiple choice, yes, no, true, false, and
Matching the following.
Pankaj said match the following. So that is the select type of format. Now, supply type of format would be what all can you make the child do?
Fill in the blanks. Most of the
Fill in the
mostly
blanks.
used.
Yeah, fill in the blanks and
Then short answer question.
short response questions.
Close test.
Pardon?
Close test. Close test.
Close test. Yes, good. Close test. Close test is a form of a fill in the blanks only, right? Like,
Fill in the blanks, ma'am.
yeah, fill in the blanks. Somebody said that already. Short response. Then essay type.
Free response questions can be included in this category. Supply category.
Yeah, supply category means free response, open response. So
Then all other questions come in this category.
yes. So fill in the blanks is one type.
Excluding those four types of questions, which we include in select category. All other types of questions can be included in supply category. Is it so?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that in a broad sense. That is very true, because even if you ask a child to make a portfolio, or suppose you ask a group of children, like a team of children, to perform a play, everything comes under supply category. So anything that you do not give them responses and ask them to do something with the response, most of them come under the supply category. So these are the two types of question formats we can have. Now, given any mode of assessment and any format of question, irrespective of all those things, every question will have a testing objective. Correct? And every question should have a testing objective. And what are the two main components of a testing objective? One is what knowledge it is testing, that is the concept you are testing, and what cognitive skill you are testing. So a testing objective should state both the concept that is being tested and also the cognitive skill that is being tested. So let's look at an example of a testing objective. Okay. Suppose the testing objective says, suppose you write a question and then typically you should not write a question and then make the testing objective. You should start with a question objective and then make a question for that objective. So suppose you are given a objective like, this question tests if students can analyze the characters in a story. Okay. Now, if you read the objective closely, you should be able to underline the concept, the knowledge that is being tested, and the cognitive skill that is being tested. So if you can see here, the characters in a story is the concept. That is the concept or the topic, the knowledge that you're testing. And analyze is the cognitive skill that you're testing. So whenever you write a testing objective, make sure that you mention the concept and the cognitive skills that are being tested for that question. So now, where does the cognitive skill come from? It comes from this Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. So when it comes to the concepts that you test, you will go with the curriculum. The curriculum is given to you, and then you will use the curriculum to test the concepts. But the cognitive skills that you test comes from the Bloom's taxonomy. That doesn't come from your curriculum as such. The curriculum tells you what needs to be taught, but the learning outcomes will tell you, what all you should test. But the cognitive skills you test in a question comes from the Bloom's taxonomy. That is how we relate a question to the Bloom's taxonomy. Are you clear about this? I think there's a lot of disturbance from somebody.
I'm not able to hear you because somewhere the sound is coming.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what you spoke at last.
So where did you lose me, ma'am?
Ma'am, right from this example, when you started telling the example, since then the noise was, I was unable to hear because of the noise.
Okay. So, did you understand the testing objective? Like every testing objective should mention the concept that is being tested and the cognitive skill that is getting tested. For example, if you have a testing objective that says this question tests if students can analyze the characters in a story. Okay, the characters in a story will become the concept you will be testing, character analysis, and analyze is the cognitive skill that you will be testing. So every testing objective should mention the concept and the cognitive skill the question is testing. So the cognitive skill comes from the Bloom's taxonomy categorization of skills. Am I clear? So
Yes,
it's very important to understand how is the question you are testing related to Bloom's taxonomy. It's not like, okay, I have to make 10 questions on prepositions, or I have to make 10 questions on a passage. So I will just make some questions. It's not like that. So you should be able to say, okay, I will test 2 application skills, 2 analysis skill, 1 evaluate skill, so that there is a broad category of skills you're testing. Otherwise, what will happen is subconsciously we might over test, remember, or over test understanding. So it's better to have a table, like suppose somebody tells you, please create 8 questions on this passage. You in your mind should have a table of, okay, 2 for memory questions, 2 for understanding, 2 for apply, to break it down like that. Otherwise, it will become very boring for the students to answer the paper, and you will not know how deep the child knows a particular concept. Okay, so this is how we relate assessments to Bloom's taxonomy. Now, going to why is Bloom's taxonomy important? Okay. Suppose you're facilitating a session on Bloom's taxonomy, and some teacher says, what is so important about Bloom's taxonomy? Do we all know what, the thinking categories? Do we really need a framework for that? Why do we need a framework? Right? So, as I said earlier, we might end up testing only higher order thinking skills or only lower order thinking skills. So it is important to stimulate different levels of thinking in a child. So some of the high achieving kids, they feel very under challenged if most of the questions are testing lower order skills. And many of the lower achieving kids feel very challenged, or they feel that the test is very unfair if you over test higher order thinking. So there should be a good balance of higher order and lower order thinking. So in that sense, it's very important to have a balance of questions. And the second thing about using a Bloom's taxonomy is to make a test more authentic. So when we say more authentic, it's more relatable to a real life. So in a real life situation, a child encounters contexts where they encounter many where they are required to use different cognitive skills. So in a real life, the child will not come across only situations where they have to recall. There are situations where they have to analyze. They come across situations where they have to evaluate between different things, where they have to apply their knowledge. So to imitate a real life, to make the test more authentic, it's important to have a balance of these skills. Okay, so first is to stimulate the kind of thinking we want them to have, and second is to make the test itself more authentic, and third is to evaluate for your own teaching purposes, to evaluate if your instructional objectives have been met. Suppose you teach them a lesson on character analysis, or how to use past tense or something like that. You have a unit. You will not be teaching them only how to apply. Like you will also teach them how to understand the importance of these concepts in real life and things like that. So your instructional objectives itself will be on different levels. To suppose you're teaching synonyms, like you will teach them, what is the meaning of a synonym. So that will be a recall level. And in the second, this thing in understand, you will be teaching them why synonyms are important. Right? So these kind of instructional objectives also needs to be checked. So your test can check whether these objectives have been met and if the children have achieved those objectives. So the importance of Bloom's taxonomy lies in these three things: stimulating, authenticity, and evaluating your instructional objectives. Is this clear to you? So when you're facilitating a session, you should be prepared for this kind of questions from your teachers, because many of them intuitively will have knowledge about these cognitive skills, but they will not have a framework kind of an approach. So it's important to make them realize the importance of the cognitive skills. Any questions here? If I'm going too fast, please let me know. I can slow down.
Ma'am, if you could please differentiate between authentic and instructional objectives. I am not clear about those two.
Okay.
I'm looking at the as same.
Okay. Authenticity means like how authentic. Say, suppose when we say authenticity, we say how closer to real life it is. Okay. Authenticity means how similar it is to real life. So in a real life, children will encounter different experiences, right? And these experiences will require the students to use different cognitive skills, right? In a situation, the child will have to recall. In real life situation, I'm telling, the child will have to recall information. In another situation, the child will be required to analyze information. And in another situation, the child will be asked to apply information, right? So in a real life scenario, the child will encounter different, demands on cognitive skills. So to make the test also the conduct should be very close to the real life skills the child will require. So if we say my test is authentic, it says that the skills that are tested by my test is very close to the real life situation.
अमित सर, आप क्वेश्चन भी प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं इसके अंदर, मतलब इफ यू वांट वी कैन डिस्कस इट थ्रू क्वेश्चंस आल्सो.
Okay.
Amit sir, was it clear? Do you need a further explanation?
No. It is somewhat clear, but I will try to just learn it by myself as well.
Yeah. So now we will be reviewing questions. When we review questions, we can also check whether it is an authentic question or not. Like so many of the questions, like are very academic in nature. Like suppose, I'm sorry, just hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we can also, along when we are reviewing, we can also test. We can do this test of authenticity. Okay. So basically, what I would differentiate is too academic versus authentic. Like too academic is not something that is encountered in the classroom situation where the teacher asks questions, very academic kind of questions. Whereas an authentic test will be like more real life situation. So we will discuss this when we are discussing the questions in detail. Okay. Anybody else has any other question? If you have questions, please note it down. I'll be more than happy to elaborate on it. I want all of you to reach the kind of confidence Pankaj sir has said, like 10 out of 10, like, no. So we will keep Pankaj sir as a benchmark for today's this thing, and we will work on it. Okay. Okay. So now that we understood what I'm hoping that we understood what Bloom's taxonomy and why it is important, and we also know there are 6 cognitive skills in Bloom's taxonomy, starting from remember to understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Okay, it is very important to understand that these skills are in a continuum. They are not like discrete skills. So as you move up the skill ladder, so suppose the child is in an understand step, we assume that the child has mastered the remember step. So the higher they go, we assume that the lower skills are already there. Okay. Now that we know this Bloom's taxonomy, and you would have seen this pyramid and the steps and all many times, how do we differentiate between these skills? See, some of the skills like remember is very clear. Okay, and even understand is very clear. Apply also can be clear. See, but in different subjects like science, application means like applying the concepts and things. In literature and language, it can get a little tricky. Now, what is analyze? How is analyze different from understand? So, can we like 100% say I know how understand is different from analyze? Pankaj sir, can I request you to elaborate on how will you differentiate between understand and analyze?
Understand means the concepts have been understood well, and conceptually he is quite clear on that level. But as far as analyze point is concerned, for example, if there is a sentence, say in narration or say in clauses, you can understand a particular sentence, which clause it belongs to, or which narration, which speech it belongs to. But he is unable to analyze. But if he is going to analyze, then he must know what part of the sentence is particularly related to which clause. So that is analysis. Analysis means seeing things broadly as a whole and separate them.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's very, very, very close to what it is. So yeah, as Pankaj sir said, thank you sir very much. We will elaborate on this a little bit using examples and stuff. I will take you to so because now Pankaj sir has told you like a overall thing. We will go step by step in understanding this Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, first of all, oh sorry. So there are first we can divide these skills into 2 big buckets. One where you put remember, understand, apply in one bucket. Where you are understanding a concept at a granular level. Suppose you're testing reading comprehension. Okay, so you take a concept of plot, and inside the plot, there are events happening. There is a conflict happening. There is a resolution happening. So all these at a granular level, like an event level, you analyze. Not analyze, you test at the event level, like at a granular level. So remember, understand, and apply are all focusing on the granular level of a concept. Okay, just hold on once. Now, if we have another 3 skills which can be put in another bucket, which are at a conceptual level. Okay, like Pankaj sir said, you are looking at it from at something as a whole. Okay, a concept as a whole, and then you're looking at relationships of elements inside a whole. So think of it like remember, understand, and apply at individual elemental level, and analyze, evaluate, and create at a holistic level. Okay, so let us go through just this point with the use of questions. With questions, I will show you about 6 questions, and I want you to not only tell whether the question is at a granular level or at a conceptual level. That's all we are going to check for. We are not going to check whether it is remember, understand, apply, or analyze or anything. We will just say granular level or conceptual level. That's all we will do. So remember the passage I had sent you after 20 years. There are some questions we've written on that passage, not the questions you've made, the questions my team has made. So I will show those questions, and I want you to type in the chat box as to G for granular and C for conceptual. Okay, at a conceptual level. Conceptual level means you're looking at plot as a whole, characterization as a whole, setting as a whole, vocabulary as a whole. Okay, those kind of things. Okay, so to make that a little more clear, so when I'm saying at a granular level, so if you're inside setting, there are like time and place. So if you're testing time separately and place separately, these will come under the remember, understand, and apply level. So this is a map of a story. We have character, setting, plot. Sorry. So you can see the different things that we can analyze. The conceptual level are like vocabulary, mood, tone, etc. Author's craft, character, setting, plot, and theme. And inside each concept, you will see the granular level concepts. So under vocabulary, you can see under vocabulary, you can see synonyms, antonyms, multiple meaning words. And in mood plus other things, you can see mood, feelings, tones, etc. And in the concept level of author's craft, you can see figures of speech, literary elements, text features, literary devices, things like that. In theme, you can see topic, main idea, purpose. Under plot, you can see main events, conflict, resolution, climax. So these are the big conceptual levels, and inside each concept there are granular level concepts, right? So when you are testing at a granular level, it is remember, understand, and apply. Now, so you can see now when you are going at a conceptual level, you're going at the stem level where you will test a entire concept, like if you're checking for setting as a whole, like you will say like how does time and place interact to make the setting. Okay, those kind of things. Is this clear? The granular level and the conceptual level. Any questions? Okay, so we will go through some questions, and I want you to type as to whether it is testing at a granular level or at a whole concept level. Okay, so G for say granular, and you can either and conceptual level type C. Okay, those who are not able to type on the chat, tell us and we will get it typed out. Can I request one of you to read the question for others? Rajshri ma'am, can you read?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, but I can't see the question now.
Oh,
Question is
sorry.
not on the screen here. Why was Bob waiting at the store? Option A, to keep a promise. B, to hide from police. C, to relax after a walk. D, to buy dinner.
Yeah. So, at what level is it testing? Is it testing at a granular level or at a conceptual level? Please type your answers in the chat. Okay. One answer has come. Very good.
I think it is granular level G.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I'm not able to type.
I will type it, ma'am. I'll type it.
For me also G.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I think I think there is some connectivity issue. So probably we'll be expecting, Deepa to join back. Bindu. Welcome back. You have to unmute. You have to unmute.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Have all the replies come?
Ma'am, I spoke orally as I'm not able to. Actually, I'm able to type, but it's not reaching in the.
That's okay, ma'am. That's okay. That's okay. I will. So, I'm not able to maximize my screen for some reason. So all of you have answered, is it? Anybody said, all of you have said granular, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yeah,
Amit ji have said granular. Rashri madam have said granular. Mukesh ji responded G.
Yeah, I think even Garima ma'am said G.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's clear, it is at a granular level because we are analyzing one aspect of the plot, okay, and not the entire concept of a plot. I'm going to show another question now. Pankaj sir, can you please help read this question?
Yes, ma'am. What is likely to have happened if Wells had not done his duty? Answer is not more than 50 words. Use details from the story to support your answer.
Okay. What do you think? At what level do you think this question is? Is it granular or conceptual level?
No, clearly, it's a free response question and it tests the concept.
Pankaj sir, I'm not able to
Understanding
hear you
of
well.
the learner.
Pankaj sir, can you speak a little slowly? I'm not able to hear you very
It's
well.
a free response question, and clearly it tests the concept and its understanding of the learner. So it's at the conceptual level, not at the granular level.
It's not a granular. It's
Am I
not at
audible?
a. It's not at a granular level.
It's at conceptual level because it tests the concept and whole understanding of the story.
What is the concept that is being tested?
Actually, here he has to the learner has to use some analytical skills also. He
Okay,
has to use mind at his own.
yeah, we will come to the explanation later. Let me get the answers from others. Do you think it is at a granular level or at a conceptual level? Can you please type your answers into the chat box? Rashi ma'am said conceptual level. Amit Gupta said as conceptual level.
Madam, even according to me, it is at conceptual level.
Garima ma'am says conceptual level. Okay. Amit sir has said, Garima ma'am. Joshi sir?
It is at granular level.
Joshi sir, granular level. Okay. Mukesh sir?
Ma'am, G. Granular.
Mukesh sir says G. Pankaj sir, I'm typing it out because it's not typed. It says conceptual level. So we have 4 conceptual level and 2 granular level. First, Pankaj sir was explaining why it is as a conceptual level. After Pankaj sir explains why it's a conceptual level, I will request Joshi sir to explain why it's at a granular level. Then we can see, way for ourselves. So Pankaj sir, can you complete what you were saying about why it's at a conceptual level?
Thank you very much, ma'am. This is Hariram Joshi.
Sir, can we finish with Pankaj sir because he started explaining, and then we can come to you for the granular level.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Pankaj sir, can you complete what you were saying?
Actually means concept, understanding the concept means understanding the item as a whole, not in parts, as a whole, and what is being conveyed there. So actually this is a story and question relates to the story. So question is not directly being answered from taking some words from the story or the text. There some analytical skills of the learners have to be applied to find out the correct answer.
So we will not check whether it's we will not check whether it is analysis or application or anything. We will just only check for one thing, whether it is a granular level or at a whole concept level.
No, in my opinion, it relates to the conceptual level because it asks the understanding of the whole concept or the whole story.
Whole concept of which concept?
Ma'am, it's about plot development.
At conceptual level
of plot. The plot is the concept. Is it asking for the entire plot? Is it asking for is it asking the child to look at an entire plot as a concept, or is it looking at some events inside, some granular events inside a plot?
Not only plot, but some events and characters also.
Some events and?
Some characters also. Some events and characters also.
No, so events and characters, but these are singular events and singular characters. It's not an entire characterization or an entire plot.
Okay.
Okay. So application now, it is asking to imagine a situation. Okay. What is application? Application is basically what you know and you apply in a unique and different situation outside the classroom. So the classroom text says this is what Wells did inside the story, right? Suppose Wells did not do what he did, like an hypothesis, right? Then you are applying your knowledge of what he did and applying it to a situation, what if he had not done, what would have been the consequences? Okay. So now it is not saying what, suppose the question had said, how did the action of Wells change the plot of the story? Okay, now the word plot in the question indicates that it is asking to relate to an entire plot. Right? It is not asking that. It is just asking you to imagine a situation instead of a particular A situation, a non-A situation. So it is still okay. Let me get Joshi sir to say why it is at a granular level. Joshi sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Actually, what I thought, whatever has been asked in this question, that is not going to affect the whole plot we had studied in the story. Actually, here we are supposed to, we are just imagining or a particular situation. So this question is not going whole plot of the story. I think that is why I said that it is at granular level.
Yeah. So when we are looking at an individual event or a character, or even connecting an individual event with an individual character, we are still at a granular level. If we ask how did this individual event affect the entire plot, or how did this individual event change the a particular character in the story from the beginning to the end, then we are going beyond the individual event or a granular event or a granular detail. So though this question now sounds like a very overall question, but if you look at it in a very critical manner, it is still staying at a granular level. It's not at an entire whole conceptual level. So what conceptual level, I would say characterization as a concept, plot as a concept. Now, if you ask, how does the plot influence the character? That is again at a whole conceptual level. We are not doing all those things. We are still inside that big circle. Okay. So so this question, I would still say it is at the at an application level where the child takes information of what has happened to predict what will happen in a new situation. Okay, the next question. Can we get Amit sir, can you read this please?
Okay, thank you. Which of these events take place after the second man meets Bob? Option A, Bells meets Bob. Option B, Bells arrests Bob. Option C, Bob tells about the promise. D, Bob decides to give to the best, to go to the best. Thank you.
Take a minute to think about the question and just decide whether it is a granular level or at a conceptual level. Can you type in your answers, C or G? Okay, Rashmi ma'am S.
For me, it is again G.
Okay, Joshi sir G. Sir G. Others? Garima ma'am, Amit sir, G. Garima ma'am and Mukesh sir.
Ma'am, it's a G for me.
Mukesh sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
It's a G. Garima ma'am?
Ma'am, according to me, I am in a dilemma whether it should be G or C, because
Hey ma'am.
I am in a dilemma whether to say G or C, because
Ma'am, think about it, whether it is asking at a whole concept level of plot, characterization or something, or is it asking inside a concept, a particular event or a particular character or something like that. That's all
then
you
ma'am
need.
G.
Yeah, that's all you did.
G.
Don't see the moment we overthink, no, because these are very abstract words. Analyze, evaluate. These are very abstract words. So the first step is to think whether it is talking at a whole level or inside the whole level. Then you will not get confused. So now, so in that case, you know that it is asking about a particular event in the plot, right? The plot is itself is the concept, and inside the plot, it is asking for a particular event in a plot. That's all you need to say. So
Fine,
that
ma'am.
will be our first step. So it's a
So ma'am,
granular.
granular level, yes ma'am.
So all of you are in consensus that it is at granular level, right? Yeah. So which is great. We will go to inside the granular level, inside that this thing. So if it is at a granular level, remember it will be at a remember, understand or apply. If it is at a conceptual level, it will be analyze, evaluate and create. Okay. So we will go into that second level of analysis in the next step. The first step is to do this. Okay. Can one of you read this question? Mukesh sir?
Yes, ma'am. Write a poem stanza based on Bob's character, not more than 100 words.
Yeah.
I think, ma'am, it's the concept level. For me, it's a concept level.
Mukesh sir, concept
C.
level. Others?
C. Yes.
Yeah. Mukesh sir has said, Pankaj sir, Amit sir, Rajshri ma'am, Garima ma'am, and
For me, C this time.
Joshi sir C.
C.
Yeah, Joshi sir C. Garima ma'am?
Yes ma'am, C.
So here the question is asking to create something new with Bob's entire characterization of Bob. So now, do you see that though it is about a particular character, the question is demanding that you look at Bob's character as a whole and not as a particular event or something. And then the cognitive task is to come up with a poem, which is create, which is automatically goes into the higher order thinking. Okay, sometimes the cognitive skill that it demands is very evident and will automatically put you in whether it is a granular level bucket or a conceptual level bucket. Sometimes you will have to look at the concept level thing that it is demanding. So the more questions you analyze, if I give you 50 questions to analyze the 51st question, you will be very fluent with this. So it's just a question of getting familiar with this. The more and more questions you look at it from this point of view, when you facilitate sessions, you'll be easily able to convey it in 5 minutes what it is about. Bloom's taxonomy, crack it in 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's look at another question. Who has not read? Garima ma'am, did you get a chance to read?
Not yet, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead.
Sure. Write a response to the actions of Wells, either supporting or rejecting them. Write your answer in not more than 75 words. Support your answer with details from the story.
I'm sorry, there is a typo. There should not be a question mark. It should be a period. Yeah. So write a response to actions of Wells, either supporting or rejecting them. Write an answer in not more than 75 words. What do you think? At what level is it? Let's not go into the exact cognitive level. Conceptual or granular? That is the aim of this. Conceptual or granular? Take a minute and answer this.
Ma'am, it's a G for me.
Mukesh sir, G. Okay. Amit sir? I don't see Amit sir here. Is he dropped off? Garima ma'am?
I think it is C.
Garima. Joshi sir?
Yes, ma'am. It is C.
Okay. We need Amit sir. Amit sir? C. Wow. We have like an equally divided forum here.
Actually, there was a call. No, actually, there was a call. So I just got on hold.
No issue. No issue, sir. No issue. So we have a equally divided forum of 50-50. Okay. So when there is a confusion, okay, I told you like any testing objective will have two things. One is the concept that is being tested. One is the cognitive skill that is being tested. You can take the help of either of the things to pin it down to granular or conceptual. Okay. Now, what is the concept it is testing? Let's say it is the actions of Wells, that is either the character or the plot. Let's keep it like that. Now, what is the question asking the child to do? Write a response to the actions of Wells, either supporting or rejecting. What is the word supporting or rejecting aligned to in the Bloom's taxonomy? Which verb in Bloom's taxonomy does it align to? Does it align to remember?
Analyze. Is it analyze?
I'll tell you the verbs. I'll tell you the cognitive levels. Is it remember?
No.
Is it understand?
No.
So when we say no, we assume when we go higher, we assume that the lower has happened. But is it stopping at understand?
No, it's not stopping understanding. When we go to the higher level, the lower level is always included in it.
Yeah. So it's not stopping at understanding. Is it stopping at application?
No.
Is it stopping? The next level is analyze. Is it stopping at analyze?
Yes.
No.
No, the next level
no.
is evaluate.
Yes, it stops here.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes,
stops
ma'am.
at evaluate. Now, if you look at the if you know the Bloom's taxonomy 6 cognitive skills very well, starting from the moment I tell you, can you please tell me the 6 cognitive skills starting from the bottom onwards? You should be immediately able to say, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. And you should see where is it stopping at. It is stopping at evaluate. Now that should automatically tell you that it is not at a granular level. Because, and if you now go to the concept, actions of wills, it's not asking for a particular action of will. It is asking you to look at all the actions of wills, which will also be characterized as this entire, characterization, right? So it's no more at the granular level. Is this clear? So you can either take the help of the cognitive. You see in the cognitive ladder where is it stopping, and in the conceptual idea, what is it going like? Is it like a particular event, particular action, or all the actions of one character? Then you will know it's no more at a granular level. Now, do you understand why it's not at a granular level?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Is it clear? So now we have covered all the 6 levels. So this was at a writing a response, supporting or rejecting was at the whole level. Writing a poem was at a create. The moment we say create, it's already at the higher level. This is which of these events takes place after the second man meets Bob. It is like the story has been narrated and it is clearly mentioned in the story what happened after the second man meets Bob. So it's only a question of recalling what has happened. Now, what is likely to have happened? Like the child is asked to apply the information, but to a particular situation. So it's still at a granular level. Why was Bob waiting at a store? Again, at a particular event, particular situation, asking you to comprehend what was he doing at the store. Okay, is this now clear at what we are talking at a granular and conceptual level? Any questions about granular and conceptual? Because next we will go into the particular steps, a particular cognitive skill, and understand the difference. Any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question about this slide, this slide.
Hmm.
Ma'am, all those which are red, are they indicate the conceptual level, and the gray color indicates the granular level?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's just for the aesthetics. I've changed the color, ma'am.
Okay.
The color has nothing to do with it. You look at it, the circle. Whatever is inside the circle, they are at the granular level. But if you're testing the entire circle itself, like the entire setting, entire plot, then it is at a the stem level, the stem that is coming, this thing that is pointing it out. So this arrow, you will pitch it at that level. Any other questions? Okay, now let us go to how to now that we have made this broad differentiation about granular and whole conceptual level. Now let's go into each of these granular and each of the conceptual level. Now, what we, at least in the EI system, this thing. Wait 1 second. I need to charge my. Wait, oh God. Just hold on. Okay. So if you look at the question character, when you are entering questions in the system, it asks you whether it is mechanical, understanding, or application. So in the EI system, you will find 3 levels. One is mechanical, one is understanding, and everything that belongs above understanding is application level. Okay, now when we look at remember is pretty easy. Like there is no, it's not too abstract a concept. Like if a series of events are given, then you can ask like what happened after this, what came before this, and all those things. Okay, who said this, where did this happen, all those kind of questions. Now at an understand level, what the child is required to do is comprehend and interpret, and the very key point about understand is for the child to be able to tell in his or her own words and not just repeat what verbatim what is there in the passage or the text. So if the child has comprehended or interpreted correctly, they should be able to rephrase certain ideas to retell in their own words. And apply is also like, you know, transferring knowledge. Like we saw what the question on what would have happened if something else had taken place instead of something, you know, some X. What if character X had behaved like character Y? So you're applying the knowledge to new situations. So first you remember the knowledge, then you comprehend the knowledge in your own words, and then now transfer that knowledge to new situations. Okay. And then the next level is to analyze as a whole, the components in a whole. Evaluate and create are pretty straightforward. There should not be any confusion there, because you're given a situation and asked whether what the character has done is right or wrong, whether, you know, the setting is, whether the author's use of a particular device. Suppose the author has used personification, then you are to evaluate, judge, and justify whether that use of that personification is appropriate for that context. So all those kind of value judgments you make, you know, that is evaluate. And create is pretty straightforward. I don't need to elaborate on that. So most of the times the confusion happens between understand, apply, and analysis. So the more important thing, differentiation is like remember and understand both are at a very passive level. The child is just passively receiving information and digesting it in its own terms. Whereas from apply onwards, the child starts engaging more actively with the information they are being given. Is this clear? So now we will go to the second level of bucketing. Now first we saw, is it at a granular level or a conceptual level? Now we will check whether these questions are at a mechanical level, which is just recalling information, understanding level in terms of like, you know, rewriting in their own words, and apply, analyze, evaluate, create, you know that. So we will, now what we will do is, we will take up the questions you have made, okay, and the first step is to check whether it is a granular level or at a conceptual level, and then you will check whether it is at a mechanical level, understanding level, or application level. So now from the next slide, okay, if we have time, we will do a list for synonyms. Like suppose you're teaching synonyms, what will be at the remember level, understand level, all those things. That will come later if we have more time. So from this question, from this slide onwards, I will request the question makers to read out the question, tell us why they have tied it to a mechanical level. So mechanical level means automatically it belongs to a either recall or understanding or apply. Okay. So I will want the question maker to justify why they have
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I think this is my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So starting with,
Should I read the question first or?
there is a lot of
Okay, there is.
disturbance. Somebody, hold on. There is a lot of disturbance from some phone. Can others kindly mute your phones? So once the person has, so suppose Amit sir has read the question and he has justified why it is mechanical. I want others to be the participants. So imagine a facilitation situation where Amit sir is reading out this question and he is telling why it is a mechanical question. I want others to critically question him about the tagging. Okay, so I am just going to keep quiet. And so I've got 3 questions for each of you. So just from a time management perspective, one question of each we will discuss, and then we will take another turn of one person each. Okay. So Amit Kumar sir, your question. Amit sir, can you read the question and tell us why it is mechanical? Amit sir, you might be in mute. We can't hear you.
I'm looking for a quiet place actually.
You are looking for?
Give me a minute.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, I found something actually now.
Okay.
So, should I read the question first?
Yes, sir. Please read the question and then you.
Okay, the plant has an edible bulb-shaped stem. Which of the following best expresses the meaning of the underlined word in the above sentence? Option A, eatable, B, round, C, sizable, or D, external? Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir. But there are, I think.
So, ma'am, I could not. Hello.
I think there is a lot of background noise, I think, from your side.
The problem is that we do not have actually a place where we can sit quietly.
Oh, okay.
People are, everybody is attending.
I do understand. No, there are other workshops also going on, and probably they are participating in the workshop. That is why this background noise is coming. So you can carry on, Amit sir. You can carry on. We can hear you. You can carry on.
We can hear you. If something is not clear, we'll ask you to repeat.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I have put it in mechanical form because it is just touching remembrance and understanding. So that is why I just put it in mechanical form.
Okay, others, please. You are the participants of his facilitation session, so you should.
Okay, now I would request Pankaj sir to just give his view on that question or in the skill.
My views, my views are similar to you, Amit sir. Definitely, it is a category of recalling the information. If he knows the meaning of edible, then it's clear to him. If he is not able, there is no clue from the question to understand the word of meaning. He just knows it or not. So definitely it tests the recall category. So it's a mechanical question. Agreed.
Okay.
Was I audible?
Yes, sir. You were.
Pankaj sir, I would request to nominate some other teacher to actually explain that further. Pankaj sir.
The most renowned and reverend Joshi sir.
Thank you, sir. Pankaj sir has said that this question belongs to mechanical category because here this question tests A learner's ability
Is
to
it working?
recall the meaning of the words actually.
Is it working? Okay, thank you.
Hearing is not understanding is not needed here. That is why it belongs to mechanical category. I think I have to nominate others.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, please.
Okay. Then Mukesh sir is requested to throw light on this question.
Thank you, Joshi sir. Well, I think I agree with all of you. This particular question belongs to the mechanical domain.
Can you elaborate a bit why it is mechanical?
Because the word edible, if the learners have learned this meaning, they can get to the right option. So it doesn't require more like understanding or application sort of things. That's why.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So please nominate someone else to answer that.
Mm. Rajeshri ma'am, could you please go next?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I also agree with all my teammates that it is a mechanical type of question, because when we read the question, the prompt, when we read it, there is no clue where the meaning is not that. We are just talking about the whether we know the word or not. But I have some objection on the question, stem of the question.
Please tell, ma'am.
Yeah, I think we can also write, instead of writing best expresses, we can also ask which of these is the correct meaning of the underlined word in the above sentence.
Yeah, because when we use best, no, one other apart from the Bloom's taxonomy, one comment I want to make is that when we use best, what we are telling is all the options are synonyms. All the options mean the same thing, but which would you take? Which is best? Suited for this. But whereas if you see the other options, they do not mean edible. They mean something else only. So we are not asking for the best answer, we are asking for the correct answer. Rashmi ma'am, very good point, ma'am. That.
Should I say something?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am, that you pointed out the mistakes. Actually, some of the mistakes were made intentionally in that slides. Actually, no, I'm just going to tell the reason actually.
Very
No,
nice.
that mistake was made me.
Very good. I like that, so that it stimulates other critical perspective. Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yes. Actually, we were told that we will be the facilitating the workshop. So we thought in a way that if we put the correct questions or error-proof question, there might be the discussion might be monotonous. Okay,
Correct.
the people will say that okay, the question is okay, let it be go.
Correct.
So I'm glad that Rashmi ma'am has pointed out the mistakes, and that's why we left it. Actually, I'm not saying that I am perfect in making questions, but in the next question as well, I have left some mistakes.
Yeah. So nobody is perfect
It
as
was
such in the sense. That's okay. Yeah. So please feel free to point out other issues other than Bloom's taxonomy also. Let it be a holistic discussion. We
I'm
will.
really very happy to listen her actually advice.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, I knew that it was intentional. And but actually today we are discussing which category all these questions belong to. That is why I had not pointed out that. But from review point of view, this question is better because discussion can take place only when we have arguments from others also, counter views. So,
Yes.
from that point,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
tomorrow day 2 is going to be only like question review session. So the other issues like the checklist we have shared with you, all those points we can discuss tomorrow. Today we will concentrate on Bloom's taxonomy. The same questions we can run through tomorrow for other issues. Tomorrow we will not discuss Bloom's taxonomy.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. So we will concentrate on. I think Rajshri ma'am has said. Pankaj sir and anybody else has any opinion on the tagging to mechanical?
I would request Garma ma'am to have her opinion. Garma ma'am. And Joshi sir as well.
Thank
No,
you,
Joshi
Amit
sir has
sir, for
actually, no,
Joshi
no.
sir has already said.
Yes. Garma ma'am has left actually. Yes, Garma ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Amit sir, for giving me this opportunity. According to me, also this question belongs to remember the domain from the domain skill from the Bloom's taxonomy, because there is nothing to comprehend or to transfer the knowledge or analyze or evaluate or to make something new or unique. So this question is simply from just a student needs to recall the synonym of the word edible from that eatable.
Yes.
It is simply based on remember.
Yeah. Very, very good point, ma'am. Like Garima ma'am and Rajshri ma'am said, there is no understanding of the context required. So you can almost say which of these is a synonym of edible, which of these means the same as edible, right? So
Thank you, Garma ma'am.
yeah, so it is a mechanical
Pleasure.
question. Yeah, yeah. So now we will go. There are two more questions of Amit sir, which we will do later after everybody gets a chance. Rajshri ma'am, I'm just going in the order in which the questions came, like the order in which people send the questions. Rajshri ma'am, can you?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to tag Amit sir to read
Ma'am,
this question first.
ma'am, this is your question. Whosoever question it is, they need to read the question,
Okay,
justify why it is mechanical, and then choose people to
okay,
go.
ma'am. Uh, I would like to read
Okay,
the
I have to
question.
read it.
No, I am going to read it. Which of these is a true statement regarding the story? A. The policeman was waiting to make the arrest. Jimmy's face has changed in the last 20 years. Bob's character had changed from good to bad. The tall man was Bob's friend. Ma'am, all these four options which I have given, they are all mechanic. They are only based on remembering the story, and the student can easily solve the question.
Okay. So you're saying it's they just have to recall whether each of the statement is true or false, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Others, ma'am, please
Yes,
facilitate
ma'am.
the session, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, madam. I would like to tag Pankaj sir to comment on this question.
Actually, I haven't read the story, so for me it's not a mechanical question. But question as for the characteristics of question is concerned, it's definitely a mechanical question. It seems to be a mechanical question. But my one concern is to Hindu men that I think there is sometimes, not always, sometimes there is a very thin line between mechanical and understanding types of questions, and especially understanding and application types of questions. Sometimes they overlap each other for
Sure.
some questions. Is that so?
Sure. So the measure. So we are talking about a confusion of where does memory stop and understanding begin? Where
Sometimes
does
they overlap.
understanding stop and application begin? Right. So the another metric to check is at which level does it stop?
So it's a definitely a mechanical question. because the statements tests about the pre-read of the story, whether the students have read the story a whole or not. So it tests just the facts. So it's a mechanical question. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ma'am, I would like to tag Garima ma'am for further commenting on this question.
So,
Garima
ma'am, when you're for this is a point for everybody. When you're facilitating a session, when you have when you said Pankaj sir, I want Pankaj sir to give his opinions, and he's given his opinion on mechanical. You can change the change the manner in which you are facilitating. Like it need not be always, oh, I tag X to give the opinion, I tag Y to give the opinion. Instead of that, you can say something like, is there somebody who disagrees with Pankaj sir?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you can take in that line. Otherwise, it will be very monotonous. Like,
Okay.
I know it's not be like the participant can predict, oh, I know what she's going to ask. So what you can do is like change the way of your prompting the questions. This is a point for everybody to understand while facilitating sessions.
Okay, ma'am. Is there anyone who would like to disagree with Pankaj sir?
Who dares?
Okay, is there anybody who agrees with Pankaj sir and give different reasons for the same thing?
I agree with him. This is Amit.
Yes, sir.
I agree with him that the sorry, actually it was disconnected. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I agree with Pankaj sir. The reason is that the answer can be sought from the information given in the paragraph. So you need not to go further or in detail for answering that question. So it is mechanical.
So the key check is to see where does it stop on the cognitive scale.
Yes.
Excuse
So
me,
it
ma'am.
helps with understanding.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I think it should be understanding based. It is mechanical only. It should be understanding based question.
Yeah,
Because here,
inside the mechanical, it's not a recall question.
yeah, it's not a recall question directly. It is understanding based because after reading the story, a student has to understand whether really the policeman was waiting to make the arrest, or after seeing Bob's face,
Yeah,
the
very
policeman decided that he should
correct.
arrest the as being a cop.
Yeah,
After that, he initially he came to meet his friend, but when he
yeah,
saw Bob's face, then he decided that he wanted to arrest. He needs to arrest. So
very
I think it is not simply recalling based question; it is
correct.
understanding based question.
Yeah. So for example, if you see option C, Bob's character had changed from good to bad. In the story, if you see, that second policeman says it's good enough for to change a person from good to bad. So that is stated in the story. But option A is not like stated in the story that somebody has to understand based on the events.
Understand. That's what
So,
I
so
want to
yeah,
say.
so it stops at understanding. It doesn't stop at recall. So now, even to say that the tall man was Bob's friend, it's not directly stated. It is implicit, and somebody has to understand it,
Right, ma'am. That's
right?
what I
So
also.
yeah, very good point, ma'am. So to when you analyze whether even when you say if it is mechanical, it is when you are writing a rationale for the question, you will say that the child needs to not only remember certain of the options, but the child has to understand, comprehend, in order to eliminate some of the options. So it stops with the understanding part, not at a recall part. Is that clear to everybody?
Then, ma'am, it should be tagged as understanding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. because it doesn't stop at recall. Two of the options are at recall level and two are at understanding.
At understanding level.
So
Okay.
it stops
Pankaj,
at understanding level.
okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Is this clear? Now
Ma'am,
let's go
clear.
to the next question.
Excuse me, I would like to
Joshi
have
sir's question. Joshi sir, can you read the question and defend your tagging?
yes. He is brilliant. Space, blank space, appearing things. Which of completes the sentence meaningfully? Four options are in, off, and on. I have tagged it as mechanical because the students recall the exact preposition used after the word brilliant in this situation. Though understanding needs here, but other options are completely wrong, except the one. This is why I have included it into the mechanical domain, because students should recall exact preposition which is used after brilliant. I would like to have my friends express their views. First of all, Amit Kumar, please. What?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Actually, I have some problem with my device. So can you give me some minute to rectify it? Then I would answer it. Actually, it's just being disconnected every now and then.
Okay, sir. Do you agree with me? Whether this is mechanical?
Yes, sir, I do. This question belongs to mechanical because, like you have said, brilliant, which preposition comes just after the brilliant? So it clearly says at. At the same time, I think if a learner has gone through such situations or in the class it has been taught, then for for the learners it would be easy to retrieve the learning just after, immediately after uh, looking at the options and the stimulus. So I do agree with you.
Okay, thank you, Mukesh sir. Is there anyone who disagrees with me?
Okay, I'm also a participant in your presentation. So
Yeah, I would also like to, participate.
yeah, Parth, please go ahead. Parth sir and Parth and I also would like to be participants in this. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
my
Parth.
only my question is, this could be a case of evaluate this evaluation also, because he has gone through n number of books and number of topics, but
We'll
if
come to that. We'll come to that. Why
yeah,
it's not evaluation, we'll come to that.
right.
Anybody else would like to say that it is not mechanical? So what are the three this thing were mechanical, understanding, and application? Does it stop with recall and understand? Does it stop with mechanical? Does it go into understanding and application?
Ma'am, can it come under apply application? Because generally students are told that at preposition is used when some skill is mentioned there. So here repairing things can be a new situation. So can it come under apply application skill?
No, you were responding to Joshi sir, so you will have to reframe it as a statement and not a question. Don't say can you, like, you please say I think it can come under application like that.
Actually, Garima ma'am, whatever you are saying, actually, whenever we teach learners, we always say that we use these things this way, that way, in each and every topic. But it does not mean that this question is going to be tagged as in the category of application, because we tell them that we use at in this situation. So the students just remember that statement of the teacher, that in this situation we are going to use at brilliant. After brilliant, we use at. This statement is just to be recalled by the students to use the preposition in this sentence.
Okay. Anybody else has a different point of view? Anybody else has agrees with Garima ma'am or agrees with the tagging?
This is Amit, and thank you very much, Joshi sir. And sorry that I couldn't answer that point of time. Actually, there was some problem. So I hope, being a very kind and generous person, you won't mind it. Okay. So yes, I am not fully agreed, but most of the part of what Joshi sir has said, I agree that it is a mechanical, but it will require a bit understanding as well. Because what happens generally when we study preposition, there are many ways to study preposition or teach prepositions. So there are some words that are used with some connected prepositions. For example, waiting for, good at. But sometimes what happens, some preposition, some verbs or some adjectives takes different prepositions depending on the situations. Okay, so in that sense also we have to make student understand, or student has to understand that okay, brilliant is used with at when the situation of it, when we are brilliant at something. Not every time we can use at. So that he has to understand it. So that moves a bit further from mechanical to understanding as well. So I would just request Joshi sir to rectify me if or suggest that what can be what else can be said in that term.
Thank you, Amit, for your views. Actually, we teach students words or the prepositional phrases, we can
Yes,
say.
yes.
Some adjectives, verbs, or nouns, they take particular prepositions after them. So
Yes.
in that case, I think students are to learn them by heart. They don't have any other option. They can't tell why at is being used here. We cannot explain them why at is being used here. It is used, that is why it is used. So I think it belongs to mechanical category.
Joshi sir, can I respond to this as another participant?
Sure.
So one way to approach it is like think of it as in a reverse process, right? Suppose you as a teacher are teaching prepositions of this is manner, right? Prepositions of manner. Let us assume you are teaching. So you will, how will you start your lesson? You will start with, so let me go to the Bloom's taxonomy, that thing which I wanted to uh, I think this is a good place where we can use this grammar. Okay, I will just change this to prepositions. Can you all see me my this thing?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So suppose we are teaching prepositions, okay, and we adopt a Bloom's taxonomy to teach prepositions. At a remember level, what will you teach? When you're starting with prepositions of manner, okay. Okay, so suppose you're teaching a unit on prepositions of manner. How will you start your lesson? Remember. So remembering is regarding the concept of preposition. So here we will teach them what is a preposition as a recall of if you have taught a previous lesson, what is a preposition and what are the different types of prepositions. Okay, here we will say prepositions of time, place, etc. This will come under remember at a conceptual level. Do you all agree at a recall level?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What is a preposition of manner? This is where you're introducing the concept. At a remember level, you will teach them what is a preposition as a refresher. Then what are the different types of prepositions, and then you will come to your lesson is about prepositions of manner. So you will come to prepositions of manner. What is a preposition of manner? This is where the remembering skill stops. Now, at an understanding level, what will you teach? Why do we use prepositions of? Like, how does it enhance our speaking and writing skills and etc. Then you will also discuss the different manners and the prepositions associated with them. Yes, anything else can you think of at an understanding level you will teach? This is from a teaching perspective. And remember, your teaching will drive your assessments. Okay, anything else you will teach at an understanding level? And then what do we do? Once you have taught them the concept and once you've taught them the why of it, purpose of it, what them to do? What would you expect the child to do? Now, first you've taught them what is a preposition, different types of prepositions, and then you've narrowed it down to prepositions of manner. Now, at an understanding level, you're telling them why we should use prepositions of manner, to make our speech and writing more vibrant and robust and things like that. And then you'll teach them what are the different prepositions of manner that are associated with it, with different things. Then, as a next step, what will you demand from them? Once you know that they have mastered, remember, and understand?
Apply.
Yeah, apply. So haven't you, when you're apply, what will you do? You will ask them to choose the correct preposition according to context. Okay, like complete a sentence, or then choose the incorrect preposition. These are the places where they are applying their knowledge. So when you are giving them a sentence, first they have to understand that this context needs a preposition of manner, and then they have to understand the context of the sentence and then decide which preposition to use, and then they have to apply. Because if you are going to ask, if suppose this question which Joshi sir has given here, this question, if Joshi sir has asked the same question in a classroom and then in a test he uses the same question, then it is recall, mechanical. But if he has taught a preposition of manner and he is giving the child a new context in a sentence and now asking them to choose which one. So do you think it stops at understanding now?
No, ma'am. It's application.
Yeah, it comes at application because the child has to apply their knowledge and their the concept, what they have learned in a new context. If the same question has been used in a different text, it is definitely mechanical. But we don't normally do that, right? Like we want them to apply them in new situations. So it goes beyond understanding. So Joshi sir, do you agree with my argument, or do you think that I'm missing something?
Actually, the way you explained everything is clear. Normally, prepositions attached to a particular word, we normally tell them, just learn them. You can't do anything. That is why, maybe that is why I have categorized my question into the mechanical, because I asked the learners that you cannot put any other preposition in this situation because this is attached to this word.
Correct.
Good at.
At that
So
level,
that
it's a
is
recall. At that level, it's a
But-
recall. When you're saying for prepositions of manner, these are the prepositions we
Yeah.
use. Now you recall it.
Yes.
But from a
Yes.
pedagogical point of view, we don't say, okay, these are the prepositions of manner and these are the prepositions used. That is not a class unit, right? Like that's not a lesson unit. A lesson unit would be like you introduce the concept and then you make them understand the concept and then you give them. So even when it comes to synonyms, right? The synonyms are anyway fixed in the dictionary.
Yes.
Right. So there also they have to recall. But from a from a pedagogical point of view, in the Bloom's taxonomy, what are they doing? In your teaching scale, when you make them remember, then understand, and then you ask them to apply. So if you're looking at only at prepositions of manner and you're asking them to just recall and apply, but here the child has to understand that no, this is asking for a preposition of manner, and then remember what are the prepositions of manner that are there, and automatically they cannot come to at. Sorry, he's brilliant. They cannot automatically come to the correct answer. There's some kind of understanding involved there. So it kind of overlaps between understanding and application. It is not definitely recall. If you're saying, yeah, no other preposition should come here, and that is the only correct answer. But there is a step before that they have to understand the context and what kind of preposition it is being demanded. Any thoughts on this?
Actually, they are supposed to understand the situation.
Yeah. So even in the testing objective, Joshi sir, you said learners' ability to use prepositions. So it's not like they are recalling something automatically. Like that edible question of Amit Kumar ji, where like there is only one correct answer, whatever context you give. Whatever, if he has changed the context to a different one, and ask edible and eatable will be the only correct answer. Here in this question, if you change the context, then the answer can change.
Yes.
So it goes beyond just recall. They need to understand it also. Somewhere understand and application also comes into play here. Okay. So we'll go to, I think we need to, everybody should get a chance. So I will go next person, Garima ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please ma'am. Take away.
Sure. So my question is, select the correct option to answer. When was the suspense in the story revealed? First one is Bob introduced himself. Second is Jimmy arrested Bob. Third one, the other police officer arrested Bob. And fourth one is Bob read Jimmy's note. And the answer is Bob read Jimmy's note. So here only the suspense was revealed that, okay, Jimmy was fulfilling his duty. So because of that reason, a student needs to understand the whole situation. And because of that reason, I kept it under application, because a student has to not only to understand the situation, but he also has to think over it. And that's why I have kept it in application, under application category. I would request respected Rajshri ma'am to please throw some light on it. What's your opinion about it?
Thank you, Garima. I would like to make some excuse on my part because I'm not feeling really well today. I would only say about this question that we can rephrase the question here. I think we should rephrase it because, as ma'am has said, select the correct option to the answer. We shouldn't ask this question in this way, uh, as we have been instructed before. Uh, which of these correctly answers the above question? We can also ask like this.
Rachi ma'am, we will discuss Bloom's taxonomy today. Tomorrow we will discuss all the question review points tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I think it is not application. It is analyzing. You should go to analyzing.
So we can call application plus, like application and above,
Yeah.
because we are looking at three categories: mechanical, understanding, application,
And
and
application. Yeah.
plus.
So, yeah, plus. It goes beyond application. I think it goes to analyzing, and I think even evaluating also. If you are asking the question ki how the suspense was revealed in the story, then we need to evaluate the facts also here. So I think analyzing and evaluating are also involved here. That's
Input from my side, since we have just talked about this conceptual and granular concepts also. So here in the question it has been asked that suspense in the story revealed. So this is going to be a full-fledged concept in itself. So this is on a concept level, I suppose.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
talking
under
about
the
the whole
concept.
plot. Yeah.
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 I would also request Pankaj sir, I invite you to express your views about it. What do you think about this, sir?
Question is, when was the suspense in the story revealed? So that's not a type of question which can be directly mm, taken from the text. It is just to be inferred, and inference has to be used here. So definitely it's in correct domain or correct category. application plus. He has to analyze, he has to assume, and he has to imagine also what was the situation that creates suspense in the story. So the skill appropriate question has been framed here. And I agree with this type of question related to the skill. And as Sir Parser has told, it also belongs to the conceptual level, not at the granular level. So definitely application plus come under the category of conceptual level questions. Am I right, Bindu ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Parth and all of you are correct. Parth mentioned that it is at a conceptual level, and at one step further, we can say it is at a application come analysis level. So when we say analysis, it automatically includes application also.
And some words also come in the mind which are connected to the these type of questions, and I think they also they should also come in the category of application plus. For example, critically analyze or critically apply, critically evaluate, infer the meaning. So these come also come in the category of application plus. Assume, hypothesize, imagine. These words also come should also come in the category of application plus.
So whatever verb we use, right, infer and all those things, the key aspect
Keyword
of
is analyze.
the key as see I can attach the word analyze to any other word.
Yes.
So analytically evaluate, I can say. I can say
Okay.
critically evaluate.
Yes,
I can
yes.
say critically apply. I can
But
say
can
analytically apply. So
we
I can
use it with
combine these
infer
words.
and imagine also? Can we use analytically with infer and imagine, or say analytically infer or analytically
We
imagine?
cannot say analytically imagine, right? Imagination is like a creative domain, right?
Definitely.
Right. So that goes into a different domain. So
Okay.
the verbs we cannot conflate the verbs one with the other. So you take one key aspect of each of these skills. So when we say mechanical and when we say recall, we are saying we are telling the student, child, this information is there. I want you to recollect this information. I don't want you to do anything more. So take that verb or take that particular skill and use a key word for that skill. What you are asking the child to do, nothing more than recall the information. Now, when you say understand, okay, what is the key word you will use? Child, I have given you the information. I want to know whether you understood. Can you tell me in your own words what this information is about? So even when if I say a question like, what is the main idea of the story? Now it will look like a full-fledged conceptual level, but it is not. It is actually the child comprehending and telling in our own words that this story is conveying this message. So though it looks like a very higher cognitive level, it is not. It is still at an understanding level. So the child, whether the child is able to retell, rephrase in their own words. So use the keywords like recall means it's there, I'm just recalling it. Understanding, I know it is there and I'm telling you in my own words that it is there. Now application, the key word is new situation. I'm taking the information and I'm applying it to a new situation. Now, what is analyze? I am taking all the components in one idea and analyzing it as an idea. And evaluate also, you are doing it with the entire person. And you are evaluating a character's decisions, you're telling whether it is right or wrong, you're supporting it, you are dismissing it, but you have to give evidence and support. And creative, it is still. So use those particular words. Now, Your, as all of you said, this is at an application. So we will go to two more learners. That is
Excuse
Matt.
me, madam, please.
Yes,
There is a doubt in my mind
sure, sir.
about that
I'm
last
not
question.
able to hear
Please,
properly because some noise is coming again.
I would
Yeah, there
like
is
to
a lot.
express my doubt about the last question.
Ah,
Actually, the question here is when was the suspense in the story revealed?
hmm.
And the student,
Yes, sir. Hello, Joshi, sir. We lost you.
Okay. I have also a doubt actually.
Yeah.
sorry, sir, Amit ji, please.
Okay, okay. I thought you are
Uh,
disconnected.
give me 1 minute. Actually, I would like to express my doubt.
Yeah.
When this question is being asked, that when was the suspense in the story revealed?
Hmm.
Since the student has read the whole story,
Hmm.
and he knew very well at the end when the arrested person read the note, the suspense revealed. He has this knowledge already, so he has to recall that particular thing. I think that is why it should be in mechanical type question. Am I clear?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Now that you have introduced this doubt, I'm also thinking.
No, madam, I differ in my opinion
Ah,
because the distractors have been put here and they distract, and these distractors make the learners or reader analyze all the situations in a positive way
hmm.
to find out the correct answer,
So
best possible answer.
I'm
So
also,
he has to analyze all the situations which are given in the options.
yeah, I'm also thinking from that point of view. If suppose there were no options, right? Suppose the options were not given, and if the question said at what event, in which event was the suspense in the story revealed, then what I would go is I would look at the entire plot as a whole and then look at all the events in the plot, and then I would say, oh, at this point only I think the suspense is revealed. So I I understand what Joshi sir is trying to say, but
Ma'am,
Actually, madam, when I answered this question, actually, when being a student, I thought I pretend to be a student, and when this question was put up, directly my mind went without looking at the options. I
oh,
went to that incident when the letter was read by that person. The suspense was.
okay, got it,
That
got
is
it.
why I am saying that it should be into the mechanical. If I am wrong or right, it doesn't. I don't know, but what I
No, no,
did.
no, very valid point, sir. Even I'm thinking it is at what one level you are saying is that if somebody has understood the story, right? It's not like
ah,
recalling, definitely. It's not like it's been already given there, no, at this point everything became clear or something like that. Nothing is being said. Uh,
ma'am, now
there,
may I say something?
yeah,
I would go a bit further actually. Joshi sir has said that it is mechanical. For me, it is for understanding level,
mm,
because the student has to understand the whole scenario. Okay, bhai, there is a suspense and how it is revealed. So it goes to understanding level. Okay. Now, one more thing that I want to add, that the Pankaj sir stated that as the option has been given quite close, so it creates doubt. Student has to analyze. So now I want to ask a question: can options change our objectives? Can it change a question into analyze to
application level 2. Can the option can do that, or it is the question in itself makes that effect?
The options can have an effect on this thing. So, for example, if we saw Rajshri ma'am's question, right? This question, which of these is true statement? Two of them were recall level and two of them were understanding level.
Okay.
At this point, we can't say it is testing only recall. It is also testing understanding and doesn't go beyond that. So we say it, it tests, it is an understanding level question. Suppose all the four statements were all recall kind of this thing, which are like already there, and the student only has to recall each statement and say, okay, true, false, true, false, true, false. Then it is a recall level question, mechanical level question. But here, because two of the options go to the understanding level, we cannot call it a recall level question. Mechanical question. Is that clear, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So now coming back to that question, when was the suspense revealed?
Yes.
Joshi sir is saying like, when he read this thing, he could immediately know that there is no other point except that where the note, when Bob read the general's note only, the climax is revealed. But it is definitely not mechanical. Even if I might be confused on whether it is application, but Joshi said, like, even for somebody to come directly to the correct answer, they should have understood the story. It is not, it is stated in the story that he is, taking it directly. Unless a child has interpreted the story, there is, we cannot call it plainly at a mechanical level, no?
Actually, when SIA comprehension based questions are asked, so it is already clear that one has to understand the whole passage.
Yeah,
it is already clear. So
yeah,
understanding should be there. So it does not mean that a recall sentence should be put into. If you are just going to answer some questions, so whatever you have read, it is clear that you should have understood them. It is clear.
Yeah. So
without understanding, nobody can answer any question, whether it is recall, whether it is analyzed.
Without understanding, we cannot proceed any further.
But when, as far as I used my recall only skill, I used my recall skills. I had not seen any option, give any attention to all the options. I just find out where it is written later or note. And I jumped on the answer immediately. This would happen with the students who have understood the story well.
When you keep saying understood the story well,
please.
So when
it means that the paper has been made out. The correct option has been clearly told to the student without knowing all the pros and cons of the story and events and situations. He just knows the question and the answer. So in such type of, for example, many questions are clearly stated as factual questions, but this question is not a factual type of question. I want to say it can come in the factual type of mechanical category only in the sense when the student knows the question and knows the exact answer previously before going through the story. Thank you.
One more thing I would like to say, that if without understanding the options, nobody can answer the correct option. So whenever everybody, I think this view is being expressed here, that students should understand this option and this option. So whenever we are answering the question of any MCQs, everybody should understand all the four options. So understanding
So
this is
understanding
yes.
is a level beyond recall, right? That much we agree.
Actually, I know it very well that understanding is beyond recall.
Huh. So
But
when you are saying
whenever it is
so, yeah.
it is said that this particular option should be understood, I think each and every option should be understood. If a student does not understand
Yes, yes.
anything,
Joshi sir.
anything he does not understand, how can he answer the question?
So Bindu,
This type of
let me in
understanding
also.
should be there, but it does not take a particular question that it belongs to understanding, I think. One
Okay.
more thing, fact. What is fact? Fact is that when he read the letter, the suspense was revealed. This is fact. Where is analyzing of the situation is needed here? In the end, the culprit, the arrested person read the letter and he knew who had done this. And the suspense was revealed.
Parth, you were saying something?
I was saying that throughout my career, I've been gone through comprehension. Just layman's perspective. So in comprehension, it was the options are never been copy pasted.
Correct.
So this is a scenario. This is a real scenario right now.
Huh.
So whenever we are going through the comprehension, there could be two scenarios. Scenario number one, if it is going to be in mechanical, then there has to be copy pasted answer. Number one, which should not be the case. Scenario number
Right,
two,
sir, right.
yeah. Scenario number two, which is the real scenario right now, but because this student has to go through the comprehension, and every time he has to I'm not take I'm saying that he has to analyze things, he has to understand the thing, he has to recall the things. My experience is that in order to answer one of the question, I have to sometime go through go through the comprehension twice at least to give the answer. So scenario number one is not possible. And if we are talking about scenario number two, which is not the copy paste answer, then in that case, one has to recall, one has to understand, and one has to apply it also. So in that sense, this is going to be application question basically.
Yeah. So okay. So googly, I still would debate. I think we can still debate on that. For me, why it is not recall mechanical is because that it is not asking when it is asking, but it's not like a particular time or something. It just goes beyond a factual, like a noun form to a little abstract form. It's not a concrete situation, but it asks the student to tell, like, no, the word suspense is not something that is used in this thing. So it is at a comprehension level, like, no, the child has to understand what suspense means and what role it plays and where it has played a role. So it's not merely like when did it happen, where did it happen, who did that, who said that. It's not that kind of a question. So it goes a little beyond concrete. That's what I am interpreting it as.
And I do agree with you. It is still debatable, no doubt.
Yeah, it is still debatable, and it's a very interesting debate.
Yeah.
It particularly because
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, whatever doubt
So
I
thanks
have
to Gama
got,
ma'am
I
for creating
expressed,
such a wonderful
and I
question.
tried my level best to prove my point
Exactly,
also.
Amit sir.
And I had got the lot of opportunity through this way, because in last 10 workshops, I could not have such type of arguments actually. And I think as far as the teachers are concerned, we are going to facilitate teachers for creating questions and reviewing them. So we need such type of arguments, counter views,
definitely, because you will encounter the same situations in your.
That is why yes.
Excuse me, ma'am, may I also express my views about these options?
Definitely,
Ma'am, when a student starts thinking, see, it was not expected, it was totally unpredictable that Bob is going to be arrested. But when a student reads, Arey, Bob was arrested, okay, so this happened. So I think that is also a kind of suspense. After that, the bigger suspense came when the other, initially when Bob met Jimmy. So Bob couldn't recognize whether he is his friend. So that was a suspense. After that, bigger from that was that uh, the other police officer arrested Bob. So Bob never expected that the other person standing and walking with him for a long time is going to arrest him. So that was the comparatively bigger suspense than Bob's meeting Jimmy. And the biggest suspense is that after that, how it all happened, how the police officer arrested him. So the biggest suspense is when Bob read Jimmy's note. Okay, so Jimmy was the person who recognized him, and he was the person who sent the policeman. So according to me, this is the right answer, and it is application based, because student needs to analyze a lot. Okay, which is the suspense the question asker is asking about. So as per my view, this is analysis based question, and that's why I kept it under application category.
Okay. Very nice discussion. So, when internally in EI also, when we are reviewing questions, like as I would have mentioned in one of the workshops, it goes through many reviews. First, it goes through an approver, then it goes to a finalizer. Then, when the test is assembled, it goes to two independent paper solvers. So, there are like almost like four levels of review. And at any level of review, this question can come. Is it application, or is it understanding, or is it mechanical? So this doubt can come at any level, even at the fourth level of review it can come. So what we have devised a system in the couple of products I have worked with is, whenever there is this doubt of whether this question is mechanical, and you suppose your reviewer is not agreeing with that, or they say no, it is application and not mechanical, what we do is we send the question out to 3 people in the team who have not seen the question, and then we ask them to choose the correct cognitive skill and give us a short explanation of why they think so. So we choose the best of the 3, so that it is why we do it is so that we make the process of review objective. So it is not based on the reviewer, or it is not based just on the question maker, or the third reviewer, or the fourth reviewer, so that we have involved a body of people to give their opinion, so that the process is objective. And if a third person outside the somebody suppose you do a diagnostic test, and some other organization comes and questions the logic behind this, you should be able to defend it. So we usually, whenever these kind of questions come, when people are disagreeing, we make a short note of who said what and keep it, so that in case we have to explain, we make a preparatory explanatory note for that thing. Okay, so this is just a background. If there is too much of discussion happening, best to send it out to 3 people and ask them to answer the question.
I think, Bindu, this question can best be answered if entire comprehension was there to study. So basis that we could have easily answered. But since comprehension is not there, we have not been able to just think. That is the debate here.
So because what I'm telling is to sort out the debate. See, we can argue the whole day, right, about this. So, but from a practical point of view, a question needs to be reviewed, approved, and put in a test paper. So for that, from a pragmatical point of view, to arrive at that resolution, it is best to send to 3 people who have not seen the question and ask them whether it is application, mechanical, or understanding, and ask them to give one-liner as to why they think so. And you go with the majority and close it. Okay. So this question, I think we should do this with that question as a side this thing. We will do that. I think we have one more person to go. Mukesh sir. Mukesh sir, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
What does the word keen mean in the passage? Option A, staring, B, noticing, C, weak, D, dark. Actually, I've kept this question in mechanical domain because I think after having gone through the passage, we can clearly identify that what does the word keen mean there. So that's my opinion. But I would also like to hear others. So, Pankaj sir, would you like to say something?
Actually, the word keen uh, has been asked uh, with four options given. So out of these four options, uh, definitely the correct option is B1. But sometimes it happens, not for this word also. Sometimes it happens with some words that they give different meaning in different context. So we have to be careful about those words, about those particular words, asking questions or framing questions with them. So my only concern is that when we ask direct questions or vocabulary related items, there is a dictum that vocabulary should not be taught or asked in isolation
Hmm.
or taught or tested in isolation. It has some meaning only in the context. So
So I think
definitely you are asking what does the word keen mean in the passage. So passage is inferred
yeah, the passage as a context.
and then
So
so it's a good question and mechanical type of question. But some words I don't know. I haven't gone through the passage. So sometimes different words have different meanings, or same word have different meanings in different contexts. So we
correct.
have to be aware of that fact also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pankaj sir, for your precious opinion. Well, I would like to ask others also. Like Pankaj sir has said that there should be a context as a stimulus in this particular question. But don't others think that once the stem itself contains in the passage, this phrase is very much there in the stem itself.
Sorry to interrupt you. Particularly me, for me, this is a vague question because I haven't gone through the passage. Uh, uh, in such type of situations, it's better to refer the sentence where this particular word has been used. So
Hmm.
it's easy to understand for the learners and the readers.
Yeah, so he's talking from an editorial point of view, like saying what does the word keen in paragraph X mean? Yeah. So talking about the tagging to Bloom's taxonomy, sir, Pankaj sir, do you agree with that it is mechanical?
Sure, ma'am. It's mechanical. But I haven't gone through the process. It depends on the situation and context also. It can include the category of understanding. Can also come in the domain of mechanical understanding. But out of the options given here, noticing is related to the word key.
Okay, sir. May I have the privilege to
Sure,
add some
sure,
view?
sure. Most welcome, sir. Sure.
Okay, thank you. Actually, as Pankaj sir said that we should not ask vocab in isolation. So I absolutely agree with him. But good thing is here, what Mukesh sir has done, that he has asked that meaning in the context of the passage. So whatever we know that keen generally associated with eager. Okay, generally we tell students keen is a synonym of to eager. So here, when we are asking in the context of a passage or a sentence, although the sentence is not given, but he has asked in the context of the passage. So student has to understand a different meaning, not different, but a bit different from what it has real meaning. So he has to understand it in the context of the passage. So I would go with understanding level, not for mechanical.
Okay.
So
I would
yeah.
request
So if
other
we,
ones to have some different view, like as I have
Okay,
told.
okay, Amit sir, can you nominate someone else?
Okay, so I would just request Garma ma'am to have some word, some views about the question.
Actually, I would like to say sorry, Garma ma'am. I,
Your sorry is
actually,
accepted.
the word key has got more than one meaning actually in isolation. So actually, this sir framed the question: what does the word keen mean in the passage? So when a student understands the meaning of the keen in the context of the passage, so he needs to apply his understanding of that situation. So I think this question belongs to understanding level and set understanding. Now I would like to uh, uh, invite our old fellows to throw light on my doubt.
Okay, Rajeshri ma'am, do you agree
Sir,
with
sir, we have to
Joshi sir's opinion?
evaluate, sir, it's just for
Yep.
fun. We have to evaluate Mukesh sir's question, not your doubts.
Uh, okay, Mukesh sir, thank you for giving me this
Yep.
opportunity. Uh, I would also go with Amit sir, Joshi sir, and Pankaj sir that we should tag this question to understanding skill because as you have asked in the question itself, what does the word keen mean in the passage? The passage is, as ma'am also said, we can use the passage as a context. We are using it here as a context. And as Joshi said, that keen has more than one meaning. Uh, so I think it is based on understanding. We have to understand because it has more than one meaning. Keen also means enthusiastic and sharp edge and all that. So we have to know which meaning is implied here. Yeah, that's from my end. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. I think some of our team members are saying that this question goes to the understanding level. Don't don't you think that once you are you're comparing the word keen with A, B, C, D options, can it be an application sort of question? Like some of you said that if it is a case of understanding, then keen, the word keen is having two meanings or more than two meanings, then it means that this question should go into an application sector.
very valid
Can
question,
someone
sir.
Certainly,
Very valid question.
after saying understanding, I also began to think about this. Then this question should belong to application because
Very good.
now
Okay,
the student, after remembering all the meanings of the words, then he should apply that knowledge in this particular context. Then it will come into the category of application.
Yeah,
This doubt was also raised after I had said that it should belong to understanding.
yeah.
So
But so this
who
is
is
when
going
that
to?
question somebody asked whether the options can change the cognitive level. Suppose, here in the given context, noticing is the correct answer. But suppose I had options like sharp and shining. So then it becomes a question of, okay, all these are meanings of keen, but which one should I apply to this context?
Can
But
I
in
say
this,
something?
but in this question, uh, the wrong options are not other meanings of keen. Yeah, somebody said they wanted to add something.
Excuse me, actually the word keen is used as adjective as well as a verb. So here the meaning is of verb. So I think it goes to analyze level, analysis
Okay.
level.
May I have some word?
Sure. Amitji, please go ahead.
Okay. After listening the opinion of Hare Ram sir, Mukesh sir, and all of you, I am also changing my opinion. Okay. Okay. After a lot of discussion, but the previously what Bindu ma'am and Pankaj sir actually guided us that options can change the level of or skill of the question. So the option, as Mukesh sir has described the options. So reading the options, I would go for mechanical only. If the option would have, as Bindu ma'am said, or as Hayam sir said, okay, noticing keen can have different meanings in different scenarios. But here we can easily eliminate other options. Okay, we can only choose noticing. So it goes mechanical now for me. Otherwise, if the option would have. Okay, so now I agree with Mukesh sir because the options are not.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think Joshi sir and Amit sir have changed their opinions. Is there anyone else left who want to change? I'm giving you last chance.
Otherwise, you will shoot us.
Yeah, good Mukesh sir, good.
No. Because I have to anyhow facilitate the session and go the talk, continue the talk. So anybody else who want to change their opinion? Parth sir, can you give your
Mukesh
opinion?
sir, while you can change it, I will also argue that it is not a passage-based question then.
Sorry, come again, ma'am.
I said if you want to change it to mechanical, I can also tell
Yes,
that this is a standalone question. You don't need a passage.
My opinion is if this question.
जी मैडम बताइए.
Garima ma'am, go ahead. Garima ma'am? Hello?
I think she is facing some connectivity issue.
Okay.
Her voice is getting chopped
Yes,
off.
ma'am. According to my view, it should go. Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, please continue.
Hello?
Continue, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So, according to my view, ma'am, because this question is it should go under application category, because here a student needs to analyze whether the word is used as first of all he has to understand, he has to comprehend the passage, that how this word is used. Then he has apply and analyze what should be the correct of this word. After I can infer the word meaning, whether it is used as an adjective or as a verb. So I think it should go under application category.
No, but Mukesh sir was saying that because the wrong options are not playing on the different meanings of keen, it is like if a child knows that keen has X, Y, so A, B, C, D meaning, and only one is here, which is B, the child can automatically pick up B. There is no confusion that the other wrong options are creating. Suppose, if I say keen is the correct answer, and if I use other meanings of keen, like sharp, eager, those things as my wrong options, then it requires the child to read the context of the passage, that paragraph, and then choose the option. currently, because the other wrong options are not related to the other meanings of keen, it is kind of mechanical, is what Mukesh sir is arguing. Is that correct, sir? Mukesh sir?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Yeah, but Mukesh sir, my issue would be then, this can be asked as a standalone question, right? And not be tied to a passage. So if you are using it as a passage question, don't you think it would be better to have wrong options that call the meaning, other meanings of keen? But then it will
Well, I
change.
think,
It will change the cognitive level, but
yeah, once it is not tagged with the given passage, then for sure,
yeah,
it may fall under a different domain. Like
yeah,
if I happen to add some different confusing or related meaning of the word keen, apart
correct.
from weak or dark, or so definitely it will go under some different domain, maybe in application. But in this case, as I have tagged the passage with the question, so
It
and
becomes mechanical.
yeah, it becomes mechanical for me, and
So
I
yeah.
do. Please continue. Yeah, please, ma'am. Go ahead.
So when you're doing this, you can actually categorize it as a low difficulty question because you can eliminate the options very easily because they are not related to key. So there are another dimension of the question is whether the question is easy level question, medium level question, or high level question, difficulty level question. So you can call it mechanical and easy level because you can eliminate the options easily. That's just an additional point.
Excuse me, ma'am. According to me, question can be mechanical if stated in the passage. But here a student has to understand and he has to infer the meaning. So I think it can't be under a mechanical category because the answers are not directly copy-paste here. Or it is not given in the passage directly. The student has to understand to tell the meaning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, it is. We should read this along with the passage and see whether the other options are possible or not. Because it says, if I remember correctly, I think the passage says is keen eyes. It's an adjective
Exactly.
used for Bob's
Yeah,
eyes, I think, right?
yeah. Pale face and
Yes,
keen eyes.
Pale face and keen eyes.
Keen
So
eyes.
yeah, I think Mukesh sir has used adjectives for eyes, like to create the wrong options. But it would have been nice if one of the options has also been like another meaning of keen, but not suited to the context. But anyway, that is a question level analysis of review that I won't go through. Mukesh sir, you are still saying it is mechanical? Like if you have somebody can pick up B without any confusion, misunderstanding?
I would still go with mechanical domain itself. Because there is a there is a context. I mean, although it is not in the question itself, but the passage which has been tagged with the question, like pale face and keen eye, the word keen has been used as an adjective there in that sentence. So I think after going through the options, the student can easily figure out that it can't be staring, weak, or dark.
But
Kind of thing.
why would you say that somebody who takes staring is wrong? Because it is also a okay adjective to use with eyes, right? Suppose you said like which of these can replace the word keen, or I don't know, no, not even that. That also would be correct. But why, if you're telling a student staring is wrong, why would you tell? What is the reason you would tell the student? you will say that it is not another meaning of keen. It is not a meaning of keen.
See, that's why I've added it is a distractor. Staring is a distractor here, and noticing is a more appropriate meaning of the keen in the given passage or in the given sentence which was there in the passage. So as a distractor, it is my opinion that I have used staring as a distractor.
So they should understand that it is not a meaning of keen. No? Don't they have to understand that? Are you expecting them to look at keen and pick up noticing?
See, if those students who opt for the option A staring, then I would interpret that there is a misconception. You know, this question is asking for the synonymous word for the keen. At the same time, it is evaluating the misconception of the learners also.
Okay, I got it. Okay. I think this is also a good question for discussion. What we these questions we call kind of polling questions. Like any whenever we review and we say we are stuck when we can't decide, we say poll it. So if there are like 7 members in the team, then we send it to 3 people to take a poll on the question. Yeah. Anyway, good discussion, and there are 2 questions which went into a lot of discussion, but very valid discussion. It's not like that we have a black and white understanding of Bloom's taxonomy. It's important that we have a deep understanding of Bloom's taxonomy. Actually, I wanted to discuss all the questions, but we don't have the time. The remaining 2 questions I will put it for review for tomorrow. So tomorrow's will be only review of questions. Before we go into the review of questions, there is a homework. Okay, we are already 4 minutes past 2 o'clock. I will quickly explain the assignment for today. It is not like coming up with questions, writing questions and all. We'll take a break from writing questions. Let me stop sharing. Let me just open. Okay, just give me a minute. The document is still opening. Can you see my Word document? Parth, can you see my Word document?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. So I'm just going to explain the assignment. Please listen carefully. This is a passage I've taken from a CBSE Class 10 sample paper. I think this was a couple of years ago. This is a passage from that paper. The passage is here, and then there are 10 questions to the passage. Okay. Now we shared with you a review list, right? There are 37 points in the review list, which we need to check for the validity and reliability of the question. What I want all of you to do is read the passage, review the questions following the passage, and for each question note down point numbers from the review checklist which the question does not satisfy. So suppose you go to question 1 and you take the review checklist and you say, okay, this is not satisfying points 8, 10 and 23. Okay, in your review points here, just note down that review checklist number. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So all that you need to do is look at the question very analytically and just write down the number there. And we will see how many issues. This is a CBSE paper, okay? So we kind of assume that CBSE paper will be perfect. But the challenge to all of you is to come up with as many points as possible for each of the questions. Okay? then we can say we are at a national level of review. Okay, that is our aspirational level. Is that clear? Is the assignment clear to all of you?
We at least need hands up from the participant.
Yes, ma'am.
That they have, that they have got it.
Yeah. So I will send this document to you. All of you are clear, right? Anybody has any doubts on this assignment?
Ma'am, please could you repeat the task again, ma'am?
Yeah, 1 second. I will just share the. So there is a passage which I have taken from CBSE past paper, sample paper, and there are questions, 10 questions for this passage. Okay, do you remember the checklist we gave you, shared with you on WhatsApp?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there are 37 checkpoints for a question. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You go through the question and you go through the checkpoint and see which points that the question does not fulfill.
Okay, ma'am. After noticing which point the question covers or dissatisfied, we have to keep the points to ourselves or to send to it.
No. You mentioned the points. So review points. You just note down the point numbers. Suppose point number 8 it does not satisfy. Just mention 8 there.
आप लोगों को जो चेक लिस्ट दिया गया है ना, चेक लिस्ट में जो क्वेश्चंस आपको 10 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने हैं, वहां पर नीचे रिमार्क्स में आपको सिर्फ इतना लिखना है कि चेक लिस्ट में कौन कौन से पॉइंट सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रहे हैं. जैसे 37 में से आपके 5 पॉइंट सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रहे हैं, मतलब ये क्वेश्चन में 5 पॉइंट्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, वहां पर आपको उनके नंबर्स डाल देने हैं.
Yeah, just that particular point number you list it down. Say that this point it does not meet. I will not approve the question because it does not meet this point, and this point. So purely from a very critical review point, you're looking at the question. So, so the entire point of the review list is for you to check whether it is satisfies of the review points and whether you will approve the question or not. Clear?
Yes.
Can I get a thumbs up from all of you?
अमित सर तो सबसे पहले करके भेजेंगे. आपकी बार अमित सर का रिकॉर्ड तोड़ना है.
Thank you for the wonderful session. Now I want to know have we reached the benchmark of Pankaj sir? Like he was at 10 out of 10. How much have all the others reached? Can you give me a number? I think 2 of them have dropped out, is it?
No, everybody is.
Okay. Can you put a number in the chat box? Pankaj sir is 10 out of 10, so he doesn't have to enter.
Can we open a camera?
Pardon?
Can we open a camera for 5-10 for 1 or 2 minutes so that we can interact with each other on one-on-one?
Yeah. Amit sir, what is your confidence level now out of 10?
No, I would not give numbers for confidence. Actually, I am very much confident, but I would never say 10 out of 10. Never. Because when I say
I would never say 10 out of 10.
No. When I say 10 out of 10, it means I am trying to become stagnant. It can be saturated, so there will be no space for improving. So there must be some space for improving. So I would never say that I am perfect in it or I have 10 out of 10. There is always some, but after
9.5, so 9.5.
After so much of discussion, I can say that I can go as a facilitator with full confidence. I can assure that.
10.
That's great.
Beyond 10. Now Amit sir is beyond 10.
How about the others? Hariram Joshi sir?
I have added 2 more points. Now I have reached at 8.
Okay, great. Ma'am, we can't hear you. Your voice is breaking. Okay, sir. How about you?
I think earlier I was at 4.
Now
I don't want to consider I need
Rima ma'am, your voice is breaking. So Amit sir has said, Pankaj sir, we know. Joshi sir said 2 more points. Rashmi ma'am, are you there?
Ma'am. Ma'am, I
What
would
is?
like to give me 2 more marks. I think I should go for 8, 7 or 8.
Okay, great.
Because
Great.
there's still confusion
Sure,
when
ma'am.
we were reviewing the last
Hello,
question.
ma'am. Am I
I think we
audible now?
still need some clarity
Sure, ma'am.
regarding those questions.
Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah,
Thank
yeah. Some questions are debatable and they will always remain debatable. From a pragmatic point of view, we need to close it. So we poll it and go ahead. Yeah, anybody? Mukesh sir has said?
Yes, I've already said I'm at 6 now. Earlier, I used to be at 4.
Okay, okay. I think another, if we discuss another 15 questions, we will be more clear. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for this very, very, very engaging session. Yeah. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow we should like crack that review part completely, and we should be like really at a national level. I think another 2 workshops we should be at the international level.
Madam, it's Pankaj. Please share the passage and connected questions
Yes,
in
yes,
WhatsApp
I
group.
will do. I will do it. I will do it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I will do it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I think we can
Thank
leave
you
it.
all.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
very
ma'am.
much.
Thank you.
We'll be connecting tomorrow sharp at 11.
Thank you.
Best to connect 2-3 minutes before. Thank you. Thanks, Bindu.
Thank you. Thank you, Pa.
I also came, ma'am.